The Netherlands has continuously produced numerous legendary kickboxing champions. It's not widely known that it is because of karate that the Netherlands became a powerhouse in kickboxing. Kickboxing is often thought to have originated from Muay Thai, but in reality, it is a sport that originated in Japan, based on karate. This time, I will focus on kickboxing in the Netherlands. I plan to create a video about the broader history of kickboxing soon, so if you're interested, please like and subscribe. In 1950, Jon Bluming participated in the Korean War as a United Nations soldier. After being injured, he was transported to Japan, where he was later introduced to judo. Shocked by being thrown by much smaller opponents, he became deeply interested in the art. Upon returning to the Netherlands, he pursued judo training, and in 1959, he came back to Japan to study at the Kodokan. At the same time, he also practiced Aikido. Bluming was also interested in karate and trained at a dojo near the Kodokan. However, he became disappointed with the heavy emphasis on kata. Around that time, he learned about the Oyama Dojo, the predecessor of Kyokushin Karate, which was then considered the most extreme form of karate in Japan's hand-to-hand combat scene, featuring full-contact sparring. He decided to switch dojos. Oyama Dojo focused on improving real-life street fighting effectiveness. Unlike other styles that used point-stop sparring, Oyama Dojo practiced kumite-style sparring, where punches and kicks were delivered directly to the opponent's body. Their training was distinct from other styles, as it allowed strikes to the face using hands and elbows, groin attacks, throws, and joint locks. The training methods differed significantly from the modern Kyokushin rules, later established and still in practice today. Because of its aggressive approach, it was sometimes mocked as brawling karate by practitioners of other styles. However, it was also a pioneering system that aimed to develop a comprehensive martial arts framework, emphasizing physical conditioning, weight training, and other aspects that were often overlooked by other styles. At the dojo, Jon Bluming trained for 3 years under the direct instruction of Mas Oyama, as well as under early Oyama Dojo powerhouses such as Kurosaki Kenji, Ishibashi Masashi, and Yasuda Eiji. During this period, the dojo was home to an impressive roster of students who would later become major figures in the karate world. These included Oyama Shigeru, who later founded USA Oyama Karate, Oyama Yasuhiko, who also later founded USA Oyama Karate, Chiba Shinichi, who later became a Hollywood actor, Goda Yuzo, Nakamura Tadashi, who fought and won by KO under Muay Thai rules at Thailand's Rajadamnern Stadium and later established the World Seido Karate Organization, Kato Shigeo, who mentored Matsui Shokai, the current head of Kyokushin Karate, and Masato, a star in middleweight kickboxing, Fujihira Akio, Ashihara Hideyuki, who later became the mentor of the head of Seido Kaiken, the karate organization that laid the foundation for K1, the pinnacle of kickboxing, Royama Hatsuo, who later established a karate organization based on the Oyama Dojo era, Yamazaki Terutomo. This elite group of martial artists would go on to shape the future of karate. In 1962, Mas Oyama appointed Jon Bluming as the head of the Netherlands branch. After returning to his home country, Bluming established the Oyama Dojo Netherlands branch and began teaching. In 1966, he invited Kurosaki Kenji to serve as an instructor. Under Kurosaki's guidance, Bluming's students, such as John Kallenbach and Luke Hollander, trained and later traveled to Japan in 1967. They continued their training at the main dojo, which had transitioned from Oyama Dojo to the newly established Kyokushin Kaikan. In July 1968, the Kyokushin Kaikan European Federation was founded, and a European branch leaders meeting was held in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Mas Oyama, who attended the meeting, highly praised Bluming's contributions, recognizing him as the strongest foreign Kyokushin karateka. As a result, he appointed Bluming as the chairman of the European region. However, in the 1970s, Jon Bluming left Kyokushin Kaikan and founded the Kyokushin Budokai, which allowed striking, kicking, throwing, grappling, joint locks, and palm strikes to the face. The new organization he established followed rules similar to those of the Oyama Dojo era. Techniques that were once permitted during that time, such as punches to the face, clinching, joint locks, and throws, had been prohibited when Kyokushin Karate was officially structured. Kyokushin Karate had focused on eliminating dangerous techniques and prioritizing safety for wider adoption. However, this led to an increasing emphasis on winning within the rules, gradually diminishing its sharpness as a martial art. Bluming may have aimed for a return to its origins, feeling a divergence in philosophy. A similar phenomenon can also be observed in Kodokan Judo, which evolved into Olympic Judo. Kodokan Judo succeeded in eliminating the dangerous techniques of Jiu-Jitsu, making it suitable for school education and the Olympic stage. However, this also led to a decline in the original combat effectiveness of Jiu-Jitsu. On the other side of the world in Brazil, the practical techniques of classical Jiu-Jitsu were preserved and passed down through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It was in the first ever UFC tournament that Gerard Gordeau, a fighter from Dutch Kyokushin Karate, faced off in the finals against Royce Gracie, a representative of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This match became a historically significant moment in martial arts. By the 1980s, the organization founded by Jon Bluming had expanded to over 20 branches across the Netherlands. It is said that in every dojo, photos of Mas Oyama and Kurosaki Kenji are displayed. At the Kyokushin Karate Dojo, founded by Jon Bluming, many legendary fighters trained. One of them was Cor Hemmers, the mentor of Ramon Dekkers, a legendary kickboxing champion. Bluming's dojo also produced elite K1 champions such as Peter Smit, Peter Aerts, and Sam Schilt, who dominated what was then the world's premier kickboxing organization. Chris Dolman, who learned grappling at Bluming's dojo, went on to excel in judo, sambo, and wrestling. Later, he played a crucial role in establishing MMA in the Netherlands, producing fighters like Alistair Overeem, Dick Fry, and Gegard Mousasi. The founders of three of the most renowned Dutch kickboxing gyms, Mejiro Gym, the Mejiro Gym offshoot Vos Gym, and Dojo Chakuriki, were also students of Bluming's dojo. These three gyms continue to reflect Bluming's Kyokushin influence. Trainers there are referred to as sensei, and the tradition of meditative silence at the end of training, as practiced in Kyokushin, is still observed. In the early days, fighters from these gyms would enter the ring and perform the Kyokushin-style Osu salute, bending their arms to cross their fists in front of them before extending their elbows outward and hands down. There are various theories about the origins of Osu, which will be explained at another time. The fighters who emerged from these gyms are names every kickboxing fan would recognize. Fighters such as Branimir Cikatic, Ernesto Hoost, Rob Kaman, André Manart, Rene Rose, Tyrone Spong, Andy Sauer, Remy Bonjasky, Lloyd Van Dams, Ivan Hippolyte, Badr Hari, Brian Simpson, and Hesdy Gurgez were also affiliated with one of these gyms. Mejiro Gym was founded by Kurosaki Kenji after he left Kyokushin Karate. Jan Plaas, who traveled to Japan to train in Kyokushin, was unable to practice at the dojo due to some miscommunication. Instead, he sought out Kurosaki, his former instructor in the Netherlands, and trained at his kickboxing gym. In 1978, Plaas was granted permission to establish a gym under the Mejiro name in the Netherlands, marking the beginning of Mejiro Gym Netherlands. One of its founding members, Johan Vos, later branched off and established Vos Gym. Incidentally, Kurosaki's original Mejiro Gym in Japan produced Toshio Fujiwara, the first non-Thai fighter in history to win a championship at Rajadamnern Stadium, one of the most prestigious venues in Muay Thai. On the other hand, Dojo Chakuriki was founded in 1972 by Tom Herink, another Kyokushin Karate practitioner. The gym's name, Chakuriki, is derived from an ancient Korean martial art that Mas Oyama, the founder of Kyokushin, is said to have first studied. Dojo Chakuriki has become one of the most globally recognized kickboxing gyms. The word dojo in Japan typically refers to a training hall for traditional martial arts. Dutch kickboxing gained worldwide recognition largely due to the efforts of Seito Kaiken, a karate organization founded by Kazuyoshi Ishii, which had branched off from Kyokushin Karate. While Ramon Dekkers' achievements made him well known among both kickboxing and Muay Thai fans, at the time, he was recognized more as an individually strong fighter rather than as part of a dominant Dutch kickboxing scene. Seito Kaiken sought to determine the strongest stand-up fighter and launched K1, a combat sports event that began in 1993. It featured heavyweight fighters from around the world, representing disciplines such as karate, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, taekwondo, MMA, sumo, Syrium, wrestling, judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, American football, Buk, Mongolian wrestling, and Sanda. Even former WBO boxing champion Shannon Briggs competed in K1, and negotiations were underway, though never realized, for Mike Tyson to fight, demonstrating the event's immense global appeal. At the time, K1 was effectively the pinnacle of stand-up combat sports. The tournament finals frequently featured fighters from the three major Dutch kickboxing gyms, Mejiro Gym, Vos Gym, and Dojo Chakuriki. Incredibly, out of 18 K1 Grand Prix tournaments, fighters from the Netherlands won 16 times, proving the dominance of the Netherlands in stand-up fighting. Today, Dutch striking techniques influence not only Japan's kickboxing scene, but also the entire global striking martial arts world. Thank you for watching the video until the end. That's all the information we researched, but was there any inaccurate or missing information? We would be happy if you could tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Japan B is a channel that is not bound by genre and introduces information about Japan that is not yet well known. Okinawa. This island, which has beautiful seas and a unique culture and is the birthplace of karate, was originally an independent nation, but became Japanese territory after Japan's invasion. When the Pacific War began on December 7, 1941, Okinawa became the site of the only ground battle, and it is said that 1 in 4 Okinawan residents lost their lives. After the war, Okinawa was placed under American administration and was occupied by the United States for 27 years. The US dollar was used as the currency, and traffic laws were the opposite of those on the Japanese mainland. A massive US military base, which seems to divide the island into north and south, still exists in the center of the island, hindering the development of the northern region. As a result, Okinawa remains one of the poorest regions in Japan today. Karate, which landed on the Japanese mainland in 1922, continued to develop steadily both in Okinawa and on the mainland, even as it was caught up in the turmoil of war. The global expansion of karate as we see it today would not have been possible without its introduction to the mainland. It is not widely known that this was greatly supported by influential figures in the world of Japanese martial arts. This video is about the 4 masters who brought karate from Okinawa to the mainland and the 4 major styles of mainland karate. On April 17, 1895, the same day the First Sino-Japanese War ended, the Dai Nippon Butoku-kai was established with the aim of promoting, educating, and honoring martial arts. Various Japanese martial arts were brought together under one roof, contributing to national prestige and boosting public morale. As part of this movement, efforts were made to standardize techniques across different styles of each martial art. Among the members were individuals who, just a few years earlier, had been real samurai. It was during this period that Jiu-Jitsu transformed into Judo, and Kenjutsu became Kendo. Later, when the Pacific War broke out, the organization came under direct government control, amassing vast financial resources and increasingly taking on the character of a war-supporting entity. After the war, it was dissolved by the American authorities. This video introduces the historical flow from the Butoku Kai to modern martial arts. There are 3 titles in the Butoku Kai. From the lowest to the highest, they are Renshi, Kyoshi, and Hanshi. Even obtaining the title of Renshi was an immense honor for a martial artist. The highest rank, Hanshi, represents the pinnacle of each martial art in Japan. In this video, we introduce Hanshi from various Japanese martial arts, as found through research, over the course of 3 episodes.